Live from the Triangle, this is WNCN News at 7.
I've never been in this type of situation, ever.
I've never experienced anything like this. This is my first lockdown situation I've ever been a part of, and it is very scary.
Right now at 7, the search is on for the gunman who killed an employee on a community college campus. Good evening, I'm Sharon Taswell. Police are searching for this man, Kenneth Morgan Stansel III. They say he shot longtime employee Ron Lane to death at Wayne Community College in Goldsboro. And tonight, we have team coverage. We start with my co-anchor, Sean Murrow. Good evening, Sean.
Sharon, good evening. It's a quiet evening on the Wayne Community College campus tonight. It's been closed since what was a frantic morning. People that we spoke to that were on campus today went through a wide range of emotions, from shock to fear and now sorrow, as they mourn the loss of a longtime community member here on campus. Speaking with eyewitnesses, WNCN learned what happened, when it happened, and where it happened.
I was in class, we were taking a quiz.
8 a.m. Monday, the first classes of the week for students at Wayne Community College. It started as a typical morning, but around 10 minutes later,
I was up in the library and I heard a large bang, and it sounded like a gunshot.
That library is in the WLC building, where authorities say college employee Ron Lane was shot and killed on the 3rd floor. The response was swift.
Our librarian, she came and got us, put us inside the office, and we followed our lockdown procedure.
Elsewhere on campus,
We kept hearing some beeping go across the intercom. Then we received a text from the school saying that this was the school was on lockdown and it was not a drill.
their folks remained for nearly 3 hours before police and SWAT escorted them off campus. It was a long, tense morning.
Our teacher just moved us to the corner. She cut the lights off, barricaded the door with a table, and told us just to remain calm and quiet.
The librarian, she was crying and stuff, and a lot of our, was terrified.
In the meantime, their loved ones on the outside tried to reach them.
We just had outside people texting our phones and telling us other stories of what was going on, about more people being held hostage.
Turns out there was no hostage situation, but police did believe they had an active shooter. They thought their person of interest, 20-year-old Kenneth Stansel, was still in the area. Some 6 hours after the shooting, it was no longer considered active, as both the Wayne County Sheriff's Office and Goldsboro Police Department widened their joint search.
I just hope that, the person that done this will get, be caught.
And welcome back live outside on the Wayne Community College campus. You're looking right now at the WLC building, the site of today's shooting, where hours ago, earlier this afternoon, we witnessed an ambulance pull up to that building, the building that the library was in, that the shooting happened on the 3rd floor. We're learning much more tonight about the suspect, the murder suspect in this case, and for that, I want to send it over to my colleague to continue our team coverage, Phil Sanchez. Phil?
Sean, good evening to you. Yeah, we learned a lot about this guy, 20 years old, according to police, a former student here, as you mentioned, up until last semester, that is. The relationship between the victim and the suspect still really unknown at this point. We do know, however, he was a former student. The victim wasn't a former employee here at the school. They worked together in the printing shop. My colleague, Steve Sprager, will get into that coming up here in a few moments as well. I want to give you one more look at this guy, this suspect, because we want to drill into your head what he looks like. If you can reach out and help police find out who he is. Again, his name is Kenneth Stansel, tattoos all over his upper portion of his body, including his face. He's from Dudley, according to police. He also has ties to Alabama. Multiple pictures coming out about him and of him throughout the day. We also went by his home today. Outside, we saw cops on scene waiting on a search warrant. Also, it turns out the family runs an assisted living facility on the property called Stansel Family Care. I called them. They hung up. We also found out that this suspect, Stansel, made his way into that building here on campus through a back door. Police telling us at this point they believe he is armed and dangerous. Back to you.
All right, Phil Sanchez with the very latest on the murder suspect in this case. Phil, thank you. Also joining me here live on the campus of the Wayne Community College is our Steve Spraja. And Steve, you have been digging deeper into the past, into who the man was who sadly lost his life today.
That's right. Ron Lane was a fixture on this campus for nearly 2 decades. He had a lot of contact with folks, and his murder has stunned this campus and absolutely devastated his family. Lane lived about 20 minutes from the school in the community of Seven Springs, where families say he was known around town as Dwight. Early this afternoon, Goldsboro police detectives showed up at Dwight Lane's modular home, escorting somebody from the house. That man later told me off camera that he was a friend of Dwight Lane's and that police needed a statement from him. He declined an on-camera interview. Meanwhile, one of Dwight Lane's relatives told me that suspect Ken Stansel was a former student at the school and had been taking part in a work-study program under the supervision of Dwight Lane at the school's print shop, and that Lane was forced to fire Stansel about a month ago. As you might expect, Lane's murder has devastated his family and this campus.
We will be making plans to honor Ron Lane, but that will not happen tonight. But there will be something.
For 18 years, he ran that print shop. He came into contact with a lot of students and a lot of faculty here, and that is why they're setting up some sort of memorial for him tomorrow. At this point, we should also say that tomorrow there will be grievance counselors, I should say, here on the campus. Those counselors here for students as well as for faculty who feel the need to talk about what happened today. Reporting live, I'm Steve Spraja. Sean?
All right, Steve, thank you for painting that picture. He certainly touched a lot of lives. Steve Spraja, thank you. I want to paint a picture of where we are here on the campus, where this all occurred. Just across the street, there are banks. There's a hospice center next door. There's a hospital. There's also many different schools in the area. Now, during the lockdown that happened for much of the morning, those places, those areas of business were told to be on lockdown as well. So we went out and we spoke to those business owners, and we spoke to the dean of students for the Wayne County Day School, and here's what he had to say.
A couple of them were concerned. You can see the expressions on their faces, but of course, all our teachers here on staff are trained, for this situation. They know what to do. They know how to react with the kids and how to talk to the kids about situations such as the shooting this morning.
That's right, trained, but certainly always hoping to never have to use that training. Well, there was no panic here on campus today. The training worked without a hitch. Students, as you heard before, were put in their classrooms until police officers escorted them away. So again, coming out here live at the Wayne Community College campus, what could have been a much worse situation with the training was much better than what it could have turned into. Still a lot of questions as the manhunt continues. We'll continue with our team coverage throughout the evening with what we learn. Reporting live on Wayne Community College campus, I'm Sean Murrow. Sharon, back to you.
Excellent team coverage out there, Sean. Thank you. And in the wake of the shooting in Wayne County, we are taking a closer look at safety on college campuses. WNCN's Murrow Ratliff is digging deeper and joins us in the studio. Good evening, Murrow.
Good evening, Sharon. Yes, I contacted several colleges and universities in the area, and they all say that the safety of their students is a top priority. So they have plans in place for tragedies such as this. School officials say it's all about communication. Now, after the shooting, I touched base with Duke University, North Carolina Central, UNC, Durham, Wake Tech, and Wayne Community College, just to name a few. Now, all those schools have emergency plans in place, and the way they go about it varies based on the severity of the situation. They are procedures that are critical in times like this. Students we spoke to at Wayne Community College say those notifications kept them out of harm's way.
It just said this is not a drill, the school is on lockdown. I then proceeded to call my teacher, and she said, don't leave, don't go to the school. I've never been in this type of situation ever, and wouldn't want anyone going through it.
Now, during an active drill, students and staff are encouraged to stay calm and seek shelter. Students will be evacuated or placed on lockdown if necessary. And everyone is alerted to the situation via the school's alert system, social media, email, and more. And an all clear will be given once that threat is over. Now, most schools run test drills for things like this that involve the local authorities. Sharon?
All right, Murrow, thank you. And of course, again, their search is still on for the suspected gunman, Kenneth Stansel. We'll have much more on that on WNCN News as that becomes available. And a state lawmaker has recently introduced a bill that he says would deter shootings on college campuses. WNCN's Emma Wright joins us with more. Emma.
State Senator Jeff Tart says the Homeland Security bill is designed to allow highly trained citizens to conceal carry anywhere in North Carolina, but inside a courtroom. People eligible for the permit would have to undergo extensive training similar to law enforcement training. The bill would also allow off-duty police officers who are in good standing to conceal carry. Everyone would have to go a mental health screening. Sponsor, State Senator Jeff Tart, says having highly trained people with concealed carry permits would act as a deterrent for violent criminals.
Most of the time, as we see in this case, police can't respond quick enough. So at least if we have off-duty police officers that are not in uniform or people who are properly trained, perhaps they can stop some of this silliness.
Tart says he is working with the sheriffs and police chiefs in the area to make sure they are comfortable with the bill. The bill still needs to be filed and reviewed by a committee. Sharon.
All right, Emma, thank you. In coal ash controversy, WNCN investigates staying on top of plans to move millions of tons of coal ash to central North Carolina. Plus, why soldiers at Fort Bragg are teaming up with international partners to train for the battlefield.
Live from the Triangle, this is WNCN News at 7.
WNCN investigates staying on top of the coal ash situation in North Carolina. And tonight, people are sounding off about proposed plans to store millions of tons of coal ash in Lee and Chatham counties. WNCN investigates Jonathan Rodriguez joins us live in Sanford. Jonathan.
Hey, good evening, Sharon. You know, Duke Energy has already filed its permit application to move some of that coal ash to clay mines in Chatham County and here in Lee County. But before Diener can approve anything, they have to hear from the public, and that's what's going on behind me right now. This is one of two public hearings. This one in Sanford. The other one will be in Chatham County. We have Diener here. We have Duke Energy here, and people are voicing their concerns. A very few have said that they're not worried about it, but the majority say they have some serious environmental and health concerns.
This is the largest issue that we have before the board right now.
With millions of tons of coal ash that has to move, Lee and Chatham counties could be the first to get it, but they're not exactly rolling out the welcome mat.
Well, I am very opposed to it.
Both counties have made it clear they don't want it, filing resolutions to let the state and Duke Energy know they're opposed.
Basically cut us out of the picture, and we've been working very hard to try to get some kind of authority over how this problem is going to be solved.
The problem is, with the state calling the shots as to how the ash will be cleaned up, the counties are running out of options to fight it.
Possibility of lawsuits, but also some kind of a negotiation with Duke.
Duke Energy's plan is to haul the ash over to these clay mines.
Large transport trucks, twice as large as usual dump trucks. We'll be hauling it down my road.
The company promises the ash will be stored in specially engineered liners with strict groundwater monitoring. But for many in these counties, it's just not enough assurance.
Hundreds of people's lives will be affected. We know that it's bad to condemn a whole community to the transportation and storage of coal ash.
I just think it's bad for the environment and bad for the people and the residents that live here. I think it's being pushed on us.
And a lot of pushback still going on right here behind me. Again, Diener has to approve that permit before any of the ash is moved. The next public comment period is going to be on Thursday, and that one will be in Chatham County. For now, we're live in Sanford. Jonathan Rodriguez, WNCN News.
Jonathan, thank you. And moving the coal ash isn't the only option available. Our team traveled to South Carolina, where power plants are recycling coal ash. Santee Cooper Power treats the ash by burning off contaminants such as carbon. The plant then gives the treated ash to local concrete companies, where it's mixed with water and sand and used to pave roadways. While it's expensive, it is a solution that environmentalists and power companies both agree on.
Importantly to us, it also benefits our customers, because for Santee Cooper, this is the most cost-effective way for us to deal with this byproduct.
A lot of people just dispose of the ash, but from our perspective, it's a tremendous resource.
And even if it took 10 years to do it, every day that goes by, you're a little bit safer.
WNCN Investigates checked the numbers and found that North Carolina is using coal ash. Road construction projects used more than 19,000 tons in 2013. And for more information about how North Carolina is using coal ash, just log onto our website at WNCN.com and look under the Investigates tab. You'll also find an interactive map of all of Duke Energy's coal ash sites. To Find out how close they are to you. A training operation between the U.S. and the U.K. is about to get underway at Fort Bragg. In just under an hour, more than 2,100 American and British paratroopers will jump into the base. They prepared for the operation this afternoon, and after the jump, the troops practiced seizing it in the airfield, evacuating non-combatants in executive offensive and defensive operations.
It's not nice to do, it's a must do. Future battlefields are going to be multinational. We are not going to go it alone. And so the lessons we learn here are going to be lessons that pave the way for combat operations in the future.
Well, this is the first of many exercises. The training is set to wrap up on April 20th. And turning now to your weather, this is a live look from our tower cam in Raleigh. We saw highs in the 70s and even touching 80s in some areas, huh, Wes?
Yeah, today the warmest day of the week, Sharon. Also the driest, so get out and enjoy your evening. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Today's high, as Sharon said, 80 degrees. Normal high this time of year is 72, so we're above normal today and tomorrow. But tomorrow we introduce rain, and we keep that around pretty much all week. And we've also got a cold front tomorrow night, and that'll cool things off Wednesday and Thursday. So I think today may be the best weather day of the entire week. It is dry outside right now, so go on that neighborhood walk and leave the umbrella at home. Temperatures generally in the 70s. We widen things out and talk about where the rain is. It is to our south. It's been trying to move north all day, but remember, we've got high pressure in control, so rain versus high pressure, and high pressure wins out today. Going into tonight, we're going to keep things generally cloudy. It'll be tough to find some sun, and there could be a drop here or there overnight as far as rain goes, but again, generally dry, down to 71 at 8. 60s late tonight, and you're out the door tomorrow morning, again with clouds, a very small chance of rain. Temperatures starting off around 63. That temperature, by the way, tomorrow morning will be close to some highs later this week. So the cold front that is in the Midwest now, you know what's going to work on us if our temperatures are going to change like that. There's that area of high pressure kind of keeping that rain away. But once that moves out of here, we will have rain in our neck of the woods. So let's talk about how that's going to happen. First of all, let's pick up the weather map tomorrow morning with cloudy skies, generally dry weather. Again, you might have a drop on your windshield, a few of you, otherwise mostly dry. We'll keep it that way through lunchtime, although we will be under mostly cloudy skies. Keep an eye up here in the top left part of your screen. That's where the rain and the cold front will come from. Again, we'll get through most of the day. I think you're home from work and from school with dry weather. But as we get into 6, 7 o'clock, you see rain coming in from the north, scattered showers through the evening hours as that cold front presses through. That'll move through in the overnight hours, and the cooler air will be here on Wednesday. So still a warm day. Still a dry day tomorrow, but those showers late in the day. And tomorrow we have a low chance of severe weather. As we kind of look at a snapshot of what we've got the rest of this week, you know we have lots of rain coming, but we don't have lots of severe weather except for a very low chance of maybe just a rumble of thunder tomorrow night with the rain. But tomorrow during the day, we're up to 76 in Raleigh, 75 in Durham, 78 in Fayetteville. So a couple of degrees colder than where we were today, but I don't think it'll be noticeable. And again, your rain chances come tomorrow night after about 5 and 6 o'clock. So your 7-day forecast takes us from our high of 80 today to 76 tomorrow. There's the cold front, drops us to 65 Wednesday. And remember tomorrow morning's temperature when you leave for work, 63. That will also be our high on Thursday. Thursday, also our coolest day of the week. We're back up to 71 Friday, Sharon, and we get into the weekend with mid-70s. And it looks like at first glance, Sharon, there's a lot of rain on that 70. There's a lot of rain chances, but it's not going to rain all day, every day this week. Just scattered showers throughout the next 7 days.
All right, we have an update to the Wayne Community College shooting after this break. We want to check back in now with the breaking news we told you about at the top of the show. One person is dead after a gunman opened fire at Wayne Community College in Goldsboro. The suspect is still on the run. We check in now with my co-anchor, Sean Maroney. Sean.
Sharon, good evening. Yes, that is true. The manhunt still continues. But right now we have some exclusive information. The mother of that suspect spoke exclusively to our Derek Waller. And Derek, what did she tell you? Does she know where her son is?
That is the first question that I asked her. We just talked to her a few minutes ago on camera. She says no, she does not know where he is, but that she last talked to him this morning, around 7 o'clock this morning. She says he told her, I love you, and that I'd see you tonight. But she does not know where he is. Now, she described him as someone, not the person that we've been seeing on the news today, that this was someone who was an Eagle Scout, someone who was excited about going to college. And those face tattoos, she says that is something that he did over the weekend. So just some surprising revelations that she made today. We're working on that for 11 o'clock. We're going to bring you that interview later tonight on our late news.
All right, Derek Waller reporting live out here tonight. Derek, thank you. And again, yes, Derek will continue our team coverage. WNCN has hit all the angles throughout the day. We will continue to do so tonight, as well as online, WNCN.com. For now, I'm Sean Murrow reporting live at the Wayne Community College. Sharon, back to you.
All right, Sean, thank you. We'll be right back after this break. A global tech company giving back to the Triangle tonight. Today, about 200 Lenovo employees spent the morning at Southeast Raleigh Magnet High School, where they helped beautify the campus and hosted a mock interview and career workshop. The faculty says it's a one-of-a-kind opportunity for students.
There is nothing like having this type of partnership where community members and professionals are on our campus providing those services face-to-face with our kids.
And in addition to volunteering their time, employees also donated technology. The school's media center is the new home to 44 brand new Think Center PCs. Pretty cool. A lot of people kind of hoping maybe for a little bit of rain to wash away some of the pollen because cars driving around with the color of your tie.
I know, they look like this, yeah. So don't wash your car because we do have rain and because we do have a couple more weeks of the pollen. Remember, it usually stays around for about a month, so we've got a couple more weeks to go. Your 7-day forecast doesn't have anything like today. 80 degrees with dry weather. It'll be warm tomorrow, Sharon. That rain chance, that 60%, that's tomorrow night. So the day is dry, but tomorrow night we've got some showers and thunderstorms, and then cooler with 60s Wednesday and Thursday.
All right. Of course, we'll have those updates on the Wayne Community College shooting throughout the night. Also online at any time at WNCN.com. Judge News next. See you at 11.